Hello and welcome back to another episode where cup of tea in hand already, so it's going to be a great day, great customer. And we're back at the lock job, don't know if you remember that. What we're doing today is we're just adding a load of outside sockets. I'm going to talk through the planning process and get it done. So we're going to do it in black PVC conduit. I've completely mullered a drum of twin and earth. You know, it just happens sometimes, the end smashes off and that happens. So for that reason, I want to use that. Point using singles, especially when you're running outside. I'd rather have the added protection of twin and earth. We're going to be using PVC weld to stick all the bits together, but still, it's good just to have an extra layer of insulation. So we're going to be adding, I think, 5 outside sockets in total. So one for the hot tub pump, one over there for if they move the hot tub, a couple up there for lights, which I'll be using the Phillips fuse on, and then points around here for phone chargers and things, and probably Wi-Fi access points, that sort of thing. My plan is to try and extend the ring out here, because obviously you can't do a spur off of the spur on a 32 amp ring unless you can guarantee it's not going to exceed 13 amps. So that would mean putting a fuse spur or something in. This possibly could exceed 13 amps, unlikely but possible. So my plan is to extend one leg of the ring out, either with crimps or Wagos, and then bring the other leg back to join it up with that side of the house and do the same here. Now, he doesn't want us fixing to the fence because I think it's slightly storm damaged and he's getting it repaired. So my plan is to fix to the baseboard here, just set up and over each one of these little, oh, I nearly punched a nail there. That was close. Straight over these beams all the way down the garden to some BG outdoor sockets. So hopefully enjoy it. Oh, also we're adding a Cat 6 cable downstairs. So do some data work and a bit of punching down into a patch panel, which we've never actually done before on Artisan. So that should be interesting. Any comments or any questions, just leave them in the description below.
Nice of Cory to leave me a bit of T&E outside in the rain. Thank you, Cory. I'll have to try and dry this off first. Look at the state of it. Cory's gone out to get materials, so I'm going to sort it out properly. Forget that, I'm going to use my own cable and a reeler.
And the customer has provided shelter for us.
Gone off electrics. I've had enough of it, to be honest. I've been working with Cory too long now, so I've started fixing chairs.
So while John's busy playing Bob the Builder, I'm doing some actual electrical work. Now I'm trying to get as much prepped inside as we can, because we're going to get we're definitely going to get soaked anyway outside, because it's just so typical. Where was you working yesterday, John?
Yeah, in a loft.
And then today it's like this, and it's really humid. What I'm going to use is plumber's cement. It's the only plumbing type thing that's allowed in an electrician's van, just because it's really good stuff. I like to use it because temperature will change the PVC pipe, make it expand and contract. But when you've got it some solvent welded into place, it just keeps things a lot more secure and solid. And also, you only want to use black PVC outside as opposed to white, because what white will do is it will degrade with UV light from the sun. So when that goes off, that'll be absolutely solid. There we go. That's all set to go outside. I do like to drill these little drain holes out as well. So it's better that you decide the way out rather than let it decide itself, because they're naughty little sockets.
While Cory's busy in London, I'm here in Cambridge, the city of bikes. This is our home city where Artisan Electrics is based, and this is our head office. Now, you might have noticed that Cory was wearing a Tradify hoodie, which I'm wearing too. And Tradify is today's video sponsor. They have helped our business massively with the software that they've produced. It's a job management software that helps us to track all our jobs, from doing initial inquiries, dealing with those as they come in, creating quotes, turning those quotes into invoices, scheduling in the jobs. Tradify just helps us to manage our whole business workflow from start to finish. And we're here today at my office because we're filming a dedicated Tradify video to show you guys how Tradify works in depth, a kind of deep dive. So let us know in the comments if you would benefit from that video, and we'll get that out to you as soon as we can. But we just wanted to say thanks to Tradify for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to Cory to see how he fits that conduit outside.
Rather than measure every single one, just use that as my little spacing tool. Then we'll just keep that going, boom, boom, boom. Saves me measuring.
You used your scribing tool yet, Cory?
Not yet, but I can't wait till I have to.
You've done no trunking yet?
No, I don't trunking, I'm an artisan. That's for the savage electricians, trunking. The weather, what is there to say?
There's me hardcore in the rain, then you got Cory under the umbrella.
Oh, is he a Sparky's mate? Well, I wouldn't say we're a mate, I'd say we're more work associates. Right, where's my bending spring? Right, so I'm going to show you how we set and lay out PVC conduit. So we have decided to keep all the cable on the ring so that we don't have to do any fuse spurs. I want to do a little bubble set, which it's really, really easy to set PVC conduit. It's super forgiving. I did have this cut really long, but I needed a tiny bit of 6mm singles the other day, earth, and I've cut it, and now I'm regretting that. I was like, oh, I'll never use it. So what you do, you mark out your string where you want the set. So I want the set right there. So I'm going to bend the string just like that. I'm going to keep my hand there in the center of where the spring is. Then I'm going to drop it down. You need the bending spring, otherwise it will just buckle. And then what you want to do is you need to heat up this section of pipe. Conduit has been very auspiciously heated up. Now I'm just going to bend it on the small of my knee, like that in the center. I'm going to get a nice bend. I want to slightly over bend it to where I actually need it to be, because as it forms it will sort of set back a little bit. So I want to come up. I want the back of the bend. It's only a tiny little set really, but it's better when you're setting, rather than having tight angles, to have nice swoops so that cables can get through a bit easier. So I'm going to bend it again just there. So you want to look down it, make sure it's not off, like that. There we go. So we look down it, make sure it's not off. When we're happy with that, I'm going to pull this out, because we don't want to miss the spring, and I'm sort of running to the end of my spring there. I'm only setting this distance here, so I want the back of my next bend to be about there. So I'm going to put my hand there. I want the spring to fall all the way to there. So I'm going to bend my cable just here, like so. I'm going to drop that down. There we go, so that's hit the end. And then off camera heating up of conduit. So I've got the back of my bend there, my little bubble, and I want the other back to be there. So again, look down it, make sure it's straight. Over bend it, get it back again with a bit of correction. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Let the pipe get behind there. All I want is to make sure it will sit the right height. I've kind of just eyeballed it. Perfect. I've got my set along all of here, and now I just want to get this little section here in. I'm trying to plan it in my head whether or not to come out of that one there, that knockout, so that I've got the most amount of space, rather than keep it tight to the edge. I won't be able to really get a very good set on that, because I won't have enough space to get a bend. It will just buckle. So I'm going to come out of there, right angle, 45 degrees, 45 degrees in. So let's go for it. So I want a 90, so I'm going to bend just over a 90, then it will sit back like that. That should be pretty spot on. I mean, you can get a square, you can do Pythagoras theorem or something if you really want, but to be honest, I'll just use my eye. It's because I can't do Pythagoras theorem, that's correct. The length of a squared should equal b squared and c squared. There we go, cool. So now I want to get a 45 degree set. There we are, I feel it at the bottom now. That's about 45 degrees to me. Right, let's see. I need to put another clip on. Yeah, that's spot on. I'm happy with that. Perfect. I'm actually going to try using the Tubics, because I can't find my cutters. I think Jordan's got them. Well, I say my cutters, I'm pretty sure they're his, but how dare he take his cutters back. This is the most backwards way of cutting PVC, but I'm pretty sure it will work nicely. Beautiful. I'm kind of used to measuring for galv, where you have to allow for the threads. That's why it's so easy doing PVC. You can just push it in, so you can go wild with your sets. You can go as crazy as you like, because you don't have to think about spin room or double couplers or anything like that. You can literally just bosh it in. There we go. Lovely stuff. I don't think I'm even applying it right. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it and this isn't it, but it works. So thing is, I'm not ordinarily a fan of using things that are so bad for the environment, but I'm kind of counteracting it. I've got one of these turtle bracelets where you fill it up with sand and stuff.
Turtle bracelet.
Yeah, someone bought it for me. It's made out of ocean plastic, and I think it's made out of real bits of turtle as well. So that's pretty cool. Like, shows my support for them, my solidarity, by wearing bits of real turtle. Right, so that is that set done and on. It's all welded into place. I'm not going to go any further until I get the cable through, especially because I'm not using singles. If I was really doing this for like a reusable commercial application or something, I'd put pull boxes probably every 3 meter run, or even every 2 meters, just to make it a bit easier to pull things through. However, this is not that application. These are just some garden sockets where probably MIJ would have sufficed. But the customer wanted Conduit to protect it from their dogs, which makes good sense. I'm going to pull the ring to that socket there, and then it's a really long run down. I don't want to pull 2 cables all the way through all that conduit. So I'm going to have this as a ring, that as a ring, and then it'll be 1 spur off the ring. I'm going to pull the conduit all the way through to there, get it all cabled up, and then I'm going to run that leg down to there and pull the rest of the cable through sort of as I go. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I just need to have a clean up. It's just hard working in the rain. Yeah, it's all soggy and minging, like me. Struggling to get my fish tape through because someone didn't put a flipping pull box in. That's right, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm going to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now the key to killing 2 birds with 1 stone is small birds, big stone. So I'm going to do the old string trick because I'm struggling to get through the conduit. So what you want to do is you want to get your hoover. So Johnny, do you want to man the hoover? I'm going to put it on the other end of this pipe. eFix did do a thing on this the other day, but I have to say I actually learned this off of a fire alarm engineer years ago.
Yeah, I got it. Nice.
We've come to a compromise, Nathan. I'm ordering pizza and KFC. You're getting your little pizza. We're going to order the fanciest, fartiest one with the rarest animals in it we can find. See if they can chuck a zebra on that boar with the striped crackling. We are getting a KFC. We don't feel fancy today. Okay, so we've had our lunch. Now, just getting all the cables pulled in. We're on this last little bit now, just running it along there, and then the little bit on the wall there. We're done. I'm just getting all the sets, but I wanted to bend them all at the same time so that they were identical. Wanted to bend them all side by side, you know. Right, let's go, Johnny. I'm very soggy. Feeling like I'm on a flipping John West advert for some tuna. Absolutely soaked. Here's what I'm thinking, so that we never end up in this ridiculous situation again. I want to get FP drums, because the drums that FP cable come on are awesome. You know, the really solid, wide plastic ones. Make it reusable. You could buy like a cable on a drum at a wholesaler, a bit like Starbucks. You get like an incentive to reuse your drum, and then at the wholesaler they have a massive drum of, I don't know, T&E, all the different cables. You just bring your drum, clip the cable in, load up however many meters you want onto your drum, and you've got a solid reusable drum. Wholesalers, smarten up, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of using rubbish cardboard. My plan is to extend the ring outside, so I'll show you how we're going to do that. So separate one of these, stick them in the back, just in some Wagos. That one there, I'm going to extend right on through, like so. And then this section here, a bit more straightforward, it's literally just going to wire straight back into that socket. So that wants to go That's going to go right across around to there. So that can be screwed back and filled now. So we've got one leg of the ring going straight out, the other leg going here, so that now is completely part of the ring. I'm just making off the cables into the patch panel. The reason why we're adding a couple of data points is he's moving his office about. We're running 2 new points to where his office is now going to be situated. So I've got a little network switch here. I'm going to let him do it on his computer side. I'm literally just going to punch it down onto the back here, these terminals here, 7 and 8. Right, just want to dress it in nicely, so I'm going to put some cable ties along the back, then we'll just bring it round, nice bit of slack, and chuck it in. I like to leave a nice little swoop. Got my Nipex scissors here. So I'm going to punch it down, then I'm going to dress it in. You definitely do notice a difference in quality of punch down tools. Now I've used another one, and I'm back to this, it feels pretty rubbish. Cat 5e, So they are all punched down nicely. Cable tie them back, nice and neat. Just hurts my OCD slightly how they don't all line up. It's good. All right, we'll screw that back on. For now, it's me done up there. We are all finished and we're getting absolutely drenched. So thankfully we've finished inside. Thank goodness for that. But it's been a very soggy episode today. We're absolutely drenched. It's hard to kind of get all the camera equipment out in the pouring rain. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. There's been a few little tips and tricks out there. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you at the next one.